Hi everyone, today I'm just going to show you how to test your alternator at home. So just locating the alternator is this component over here, and it's commonly driven by the auxiliary drive belt just down the side of the engine. Okay, so what we've got is a plug connector on the back, okay, and then just right down there where you've got a small little clip just here, okay, that's the main output. Okay, so we can measure the output from the alternator to make sure that our battery is being tested and charged correctly. Now, when looking at your battery, all you need to do is connect your positive lead up. Just look for the positive sign here on the battery, or if you can't see the positive sign, look for an indication just on the lead here, or if not, the live terminal is always slightly thicker than your negative. So we just connect those up there. And all you need is a multimeter like this, and just have it set to 20 volts, okay, and voltage DC. So that's, if you don't have a DC or AC indication on your multimeter, the DC for direct current is just a straight line with 3 dashes there. And we want it set to 20 because what we're looking for is about 13.8 to about 14.5 volts when the engine is running. So as you can see at the moment, I've only got 12.07 volts. Now that shows that, you know, this battery isn't fully charged really. You should see in the region of about 12.6 volts for a fully charged battery, but as long as it holds 12 volts, we should be okay. And then what I'm looking to do is start the car up and show you the charge rate back from the alternator. Okay, so as you can see now, we've got the engine running, and what we're looking for is to see that the alternator is charging our battery. So what it's doing is it's sending the voltage and current into our battery now, so that's charging our battery because the battery's voltage is only 12.6 volts. It's now having 14 volts. That voltage is now sending our current over to our battery, which is now recharging it. So what we're looking to make sure the alternator is working is just to see that we've got in the region of 13.8 to 14.5 volts, and as you can see there, we've got 14.2. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to show you how to carry out a direct charge rate from our alternator so that we can get a really accurate measurement. So at the moment we've got 14.3 volts, so I'm going to go straight off the back of the alternator and show you how to do that. Okay, so a moment ago when we were directly onto the battery, what we had was showing 14.3 volts. So what I've done now is I've just used the ground terminal on the battery just to show our potential difference. And I've come straight down onto the back side of the alternator, okay, which is that lead straight down the back side there. And all I'm doing is placing my terminal just on the back there, and that's showing just over 14.3, so we've now got 14.38. So that's just a more accurate way of measuring the output from your alternator. And then what you can do as well, just to test your loom, to make sure you don't have a voltage drop, is just connect one of your terminals up to the positive side of the battery, and then your other terminal is just going to come straight down onto that live output of the alternator, and that's going to give you a voltage drop. So the potential difference between our live at the alternator and the live over here at the battery is showing 0.04. So what you don't want to see is anything any more than sort of 0.2 to 0.5 of so sort of up to half a volt drop really. So you're looking between 0.2 and 0.5 of a volt drop. So that's not what we would want to see. So I'm just going to go and flip the car off. Okay, so now that I've just switched the car off, I've got the leads connected back across the battery. Now don't be surprised if you see with the engine switched off that we've got over sort of the 12.6 volt mark. Okay, that's just a surface charge, which is just showing that the alternator is just being along the line there and the cable feeding into the battery. It's just basically creating a surface charge, and that just shows you that the alternator is actually just charging that battery back up. Okay, so I hope this video was really helpful for you. Just remember, all you need to do is obviously have a multimeter set to 20 volts DC, and then you can test to ensure that your alternator is charging your battery correctly. Just as a sort of a safety point of view, just make sure you keep your hands clear of this side where you've got the auxiliary drive belt spinning. Okay, but apart from that, I hope this was helpful, and thanks very much for watching.